If you do a lot of talking to camera, then you'll know how frustrating it can be to print off and try and read from an off-camera script or even remember what to say. A teleprompter or auto cue can make your videos look more professional, as instead of needing to print off your script or have another screen to read off, you can mount the prompter in front of your camera to read off and instead maintain eye contact with your viewer through the camera lens. In 2026, is the Pronstoor or Ambitful teleprompter still value for money if you are on a budget? At the time of recording, the cheapest teleprompter on Amazon is still from a brand called Pronstoor, or as it states on the packaging, Ambitful, and it costs just under £40. So for that price, is it worth it, or should you invest in a more expensive system? Firstly, let's look at what you get. It comes in a tidy box with the main prompter assembly, a tripod, and then another box containing your Bluetooth controller, second phone mount, the one you would use to record the video, and a selection of threaded camera rings and mounts and inserts if you choose to use a conventional camera with a threaded lens rather than a smartphone. The teleprompter assembly has a cold tube mount for mounting a light, a flash, or a microphone. This teleprompter has two uses, one for smartphone users and one for more conventional cameras and lenses that can accept threaded adapters. Firstly, if you are intending to use this with a smartphone, you will need two devices, one for filming and one to use as the auto cue script. Out the box, the teleprompter is assembled for smartphone use, but it easily separates for use on a camera lens. In smartphone mode, the tripod will connect to the front 1/4 inch 20 screw insert on the main assembly. Your device used for filming can either be mounted in landscape 16:9 for the standard long form video ratio, or portrait for the 9:16 or short form video ratio via way of slots on both sides and bottom of the prompter assembly. The kit comes with an expanding phone bracket, has a 1/4 inch thread on the back and a mounting screw. Your mobile device sits at the back of the teleprompter. It would be easier to mount the phone onto the bracket before attaching it to the teleprompter. The kit comes with inserts so that no errant light can get past your phone and through into the back of the unit. Choose the appropriate one for your type of smartphone device. With the unit now set up, it's just a case of sliding the device you are going to use for the auto cue into the front holder. I found that having it carefully balanced on the bracket and gently tightening the screw will avoid your unlock and volume buttons getting accidentally pressed, which is always annoying with this type of bracket. And there you have it. The system is nearly ready to use. We will look at the app setup soon. With the smartphones being lightweight, this setup seems fairly sturdy. I would even hazard a guess that it can be transported and held like a vlogging setup if you choose to walk and talk, which is something I often do. A microphone can be added to the cold tube mount at the top of the prompter hood. In smartphone mode, the setup seems fairly sturdy, and the small form factor means it's ideal for those of us who have small recording spaces or rooms. For those of us with a camera setup where the lenses you have threads to accept filters or rings, you can separate the teleprompter assembly and use one of the correctly sized threaded rings that come with the kit for your size of lens thread diameter. Although the tripod included in the kit is great for mounting and using the prompter with a smartphone, I am reluctant to trust the tripod with any heavy or expensive camera gear. Maybe on a desk in an office where it doesn't have far to go if the tripod fails or if the head tips, but for anything outdoors or at standing head height, I would use a decent tripod that can handle the weight. Depending on the weight of your vlogging camera, you might be able to handhold the setup, but not for very long, unless you have strong core and arms. Again, a microphone, flash, or light can be mounted to the top of the prompter hood cold shoe mount. Now we have seen the two use cases, how do we set up a script and get the teleprompter working? Now the app installation instructions are not great, and the QR code link will encourage you to download an app called WeChat. Don't do this. The app is named in the manual, Inmei Teleprompter. Download it from the Android or Apple Store. Once installed, the first screen to appear is where you can create a script by clicking the Add button. Give your script a title and then fill out the content section with your script. The savvy amongst us will already have a script in a document or notepad style app. Copying and pasting your document will save you a real headache. Click Save. The usual edit and delete buttons are available, and there is a settings menu that you'll probably access more when your script is running. Clicking on a script will load it up ready for the teleprompter and for you to start your piece to camera. Now you do have all the controls you need on this screen for playing, pausing and changing settings. However, this is where the Bluetooth remote control comes into its own and proves very useful, especially when you want to avoid finger or knuckle marks on the beam splitter. Now to connect the Bluetooth remote, once you have slapped a couple of AA batteries in it, which are not included, you press and hold the on-off button for 3 seconds until the small red LED comes on. If the remote is in pairing mode and doesn't pick up a Bluetooth connection, it will flash. At this point, pair your mobile device, the one you'll use as an auto cue, in the normal way. The prompter will appear as MoCue to something something auto. You don't want to sync contacts obviously, and the LED on the remote should go off and the connection should be successful. At the time of testing, I'm using an Android smartphone device, and I found that the remote has to be switched to game on this little side switch, or it doesn't communicate with the app via any of the button presses. This is alluded to in the manual. It might be different on an Apple operating system. Let us all know in the comments please, Apple users. Now the remote is ready to use with your teleprompter. At the front of the remote is the play pause button, which initially on first press doesn't appear to register, but then it is not a problem. The joystick on top of the remote allows you to flip through the script if you move it up and down, and slow down or speed up the script if you move it left or right. Useful if you fall behind or get ahead of your auto cue. I've found that the A, B, X and Y buttons toggle the play and pause of the script, and the burger menu button brings up the settings menu on the app, which in turn you can then use the joystick to select the font size, play speed and background color. Oddly, briefly pressing the power button closes this menu, which seems a bit counterintuitive as it feels like I'm going to power down the remote at the critical point, but it does the job. I found the remote control and its joystick are really handy and makes the teleprompter completely touch-free when you are in the zone and yapping away to the camera. Pressing and holding the power button until the LED goes from flashing to rapidly flashing will turn it off. Subsequently, once it is initially paired with your smartphone device, it seems to happily pair again every time you switch the remote off and then back on. Once you are set up, it takes a bit of getting used to, but it makes such a difference to the flow and professionalism of your videos. It also seems to me to give me a boost of confidence. In the bottom corner of the app, there is a mirroring mode button that will help you to get the text the right way up in the reflection of the beam splitter. There is also a count up clock at the top of the app, which is useful to see how long you've been vlogging or talking to camera for, but I can never seem to get this flipped the right way around in the beam splitter window. Maybe something for a future software update. It might be a bit awkward to use in conjunction with filters. Say for instance you need a variable neutral density filter to control the exposure. The adapter rings are threaded on the rear but not in the center flange, and besides, once the prompter assembly is on the camera there is no way of removing the glass to get to the filter anyway. If you have a widescreen smartphone, as most of us these days tend to have, then the teleprompter is just too narrow to accommodate all the text comfortably if you center the phone in the mirror. But fear not, as I have used the power of AI to work out that the teleprompter displays around 67 characters across, including spaces, and for a smartphone with a 7-inch display, I would guess using 60 characters per line would get the text to fit comfortably in the beam splitter mirror. Your phone will need to be slightly off center until all the text appears in the mirror. So copy your script into ChatGPT preceded by this prompt. Can you display the following script in this manner? Each line should be preceded by 4 spaces, then 60 characters of the script, and then followed by 3 spaces. Please do not split whole words. This is so there is a margin each side of the text and it fits comfortably in the center of a teleprompter window on a smartphone app. Then insert your script. Copy and paste this into your note-taking app or directly into the teleprompter app and it should work. I'll be nice and leave this prompt in the video description for you. Another small issue I have, and this isn't a direct criticism of the teleprompter, is that any phone bracket holder I use always seems to interfere with your device's volume or lock buttons, especially when you have to offset wider phones or larger phones to fit the text into the beam splitter mirror, potentially leading the phone to fall off balance if you don't tighten the bracket. Just be careful how you store and transport the kit, as the glass beam splitter looks very fragile and one scratch could potentially render it useless. If you are on a budget or just don't want to spend a lot of money on a professional level teleprompter, then this is a really good kit. I've actually used it to produce this video. It's lightweight, small, and easy to use. I would use it both in an office or bedroom environment and take it with me when I'm on the road. Optically, I can't see a scenario where you'd be able to see the image formed on the beam splitter in your footage. Yes, I have had to manipulate the scripts so they fit on my wider phone, but this also helps hide the fact that you're reading from an auto cue, as it keeps your vision focused into the camera lens somewhat better. This would be a nice feature in an app firmware update maybe. I can see how using a smartphone with no external reference monitor would be a real challenge to get the focus and framing of your face, but with a camera rigged up to a HDMI display screen, it was easy to do multiple takes and check my focus and framing without constantly moving the teleprompter. For the price, this teleprompter is a no-brainer. It's easy to use, lightweight, and is actually quite fun to use, especially if, like me, you can't freestyle or remember what to say without babbling off topic. For the professional, it does have some limitations, but it's not designed for that. It's aimed at the common or garden, vlogger or YouTuber, someone on a budget. If you are planning to buy this teleprompter, then let us all know your thoughts and feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching.